Here's the real question. On the days that get hard, what stays the same? Not everything, just one thing. One non-negotiable standard that never moves. Is it your sleep when you're tired? Is your training when you're sore? Is your integrity when you have a chance to do something that's not quite right, but it might get you some more money in your pocket? Standards are your identity, not your goals. We think that when the goal shows up, when the goal arrives, that it will be when you show up and when you get ready to go. But you forget that the entire journey is when you have to put in the work, when you have to get up there, when you create your identity. And if you only train when it feels good, you're not disciplined, you're conditional. When the day pushes back, the standard holds. And that's not intensity, that's maturity. All right, let's go. If you're tired, not feeling fit, tired, just not having a focus, tired, just not having a life that you desire. This is your place to be. I'm Jason Yarusi. Today, let's talk about standards and how standards don't change on bad days. For many, we've come up on New Year's resolutions, right? And maybe at this point, you're still doing good, you're still on track. But for a lot of us, a lot of you, you've already fallen off the horse. The time has passed by. You're already thinking about what's been every day of your life up to this point because you're just back in that routine, back in that habit. Maybe you're already just saying, maybe I'll get back to it next month or the next month, or let me just wait for summer. You know what? It just wasn't the right year to do this. Well, most people don't fail when the day went wrong. They fail because they changed the rules when things got hard. And I would bet that right now, your New Year's resolution or the things you wanted to really accomplish this year have fallen off because something got hard, something got in the way. Standards only matter when they're not inconvenient. And if you put that to test, most things that you want to accomplish are inconvenient in the moment because we haven't set up the reason that we want them. And it hasn't become more important, more desperate, more desired than what you have right now. They say comfort is the enemy because otherwise your standards, they're just preferences. They're just something you prefer to do when it's perfect, when it's right, when it matters. Hard days don't require new plans to reveal whether your standards were real to begin with. And this is where the quiet drift starts. It's so easy to get back under that warm blanket and not get up in the morning and not go after what you need to do, not go after what you want to go after, what it is that's going to make your life different. Just today, I'll make it up tomorrow. This week doesn't count. All the message you're telling yourself, all the stories you're telling yourself, all the things that you continue to reiterate to yourself each and every day of why you're not doing it right now. But when does it stop? Because your standards can't have flexibility. They can't just erode. And the erosion, it just doesn't happen all at once. It just happens with that one excuse, followed by that next excuse, followed by the next excuse. Live 100, it's simple. Standards are your identity, not your goals. We think that when the goal shows up, when the goal arrives, that it will be when you show up and when you get ready to go. But you forget that the entire journey is when you have to put in the work, when you have to get up there, when you create your identity. And if you only train when it feels good, you're not disciplined, you're conditional. And if you only lead when the conditions operate, you're not leading, you're participating. Hard days, they don't break people. Soft standards do. And I would bet that there's some little aspect of life that's gotten in the way from you getting up to make things happen, to push things forward. Pressure doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you've been practicing to become. Practice makes perfect. When we think about all of life and all the series of training we do, all the exercises we do for the moment when it shows up. If you've been in sports, that you practice the same thing over and over again. So when the moment comes up, you're ready to go. And you see this in someone who's shooting free throws in a really tense moment, and you really see the work they put in, how they've been able to focus. Does the crowd get them off? Does the moment get them off, right? Or a field goal kicker in the moment, how they've prepared, how they've set up, how they've gone, how they face the music when the time is needed. Here's the real question. On the days that get hard, what stays the same? Not everything, just one thing. One non-negotiable standard that never moves. Is it your sleep when you're tired? Is your training when you're sore? Is your integrity when you have a chance to do something that's not quite right, but it might get you some more money in your pocket? Is it execution when you need to do something hard, but you pick the easy things to do? Is it honesty when it feels right to just lie because it's just easier just to say a little lie? 1 acre keeps the whole system upright. So what is your choice? What is the rock that you're going to stand upon? What's the hill you're going to climb and have no other way to back down? When the day pushes back, the standard holds. And that's not intensity, that's maturity. Think of your day and the moment in time of what you're doing right now. And think about if you're happy with what you're doing. I heard this yesterday, that if you're getting older and you're not happy, you're doing something wrong. And that spoke to me. I see so many people who are just miserable in the moment, and every day just seems like it's just a worse day upon a worse day upon the next day being just horrible. And I can't imagine living a life like that when we're just destined with all of this world that God's given us. Yet, we act like the world is something that's given to us and we can take for granted of what's in front of us, because we'll just have another day to maybe go after it. Live 100, it's about starting, setting standards, making those standards your identity of who you are, and creating habits and things that you will not negotiate with yourself. So when the time comes and things are hard, you get up and make it happen. All right, if this message spoke to you today, go out there and share this with someone who needs to hear this message, who needs to get out of their own way. If you could do anything for us, leave us an honest rating and review. It continues to help get this show out to masses. I'm Jason Yarusi. Let's do this.